Now, I wanted to get this out yesterday, but thanks to the Chibi vlog I uploaded earlier this morning, it pretty much ruined all chance of really making videos, because I woke up late yesterday because bad sleep schedule. But on top of that, though, the vlog took like, it took like 6+ fucking, yeah, a lot of hours just to render, edits, and editing was a lot longer than that. So I'm very sorry for this being on a Thursday instead of a Wednesday, but yeah, anyways though, let us begin this week's Chibi questions. Has anime's fanbase ever made you hesitant to watch an anime? That's a good question, but it really depends on the context, though. If you're meaning, like, the fan base, like, being scummy or whatever, and then, makes it to where you don't want to watch a series, no. I don't let that really decide, my factor of watching a series or reading a manga or whatever. But if you're talking about, like, fans, like, or whatever, talking about, like, this said series, recommending it, and then they're very aggressive with the series, like, you need to start it, you need to start it, you need to start it, I do admit that sometimes it can be a little bit annoying, and it makes me not really want to do it as much, but I still will eventually get around to it, just on my own time. But, I guess I could say yes and no to that question. It just depends on the context. Have you ever thought of when you'll be an adult, a family of your own, will you still be able to continue YouTube and watch anime like now? Well, I would love to always continue watching anime. That's just something that I probably will be doing to my final time on this planet. But will I be doing YouTube, like continue doing YouTube throughout the years? Honestly, I don't know. I mean, there is anything that can happen. Like, I mean, from this point onward to like a year from now to even next week. I mean, so many things can happen in between. I really don't know what the future holds. And I mean, with the whole new situation with YouTube recently and the ad boycott and all that, I really don't know. So it really just comes down to just what the future holds. I really can't guess right now. I mean, if I ever was given the chance, for instance, if I could have a family and all that, and whatever, and I was still doing YouTube at the time, then yeah, I would still do it. Like, for instance, I would continue doing what I'm doing. But I mean, it really just depends where the future takes me. Have you ever considered showing a picture of when you were younger? Have I never really showed you guys when I was younger? Really? Well, then, I'll show you a picture, then. I'll show you a picture on screen when I was younger. It has been a week, Chibi. Want to get further into discussion about those fetishes. We ain't letting you ditch your promises so easily. Now, I did discuss it in my last Chibi questions, and I also went even further in depth with that in my recent Bloodborne stream I did, like, late last week, around Friday or so. So, if you're wanting to know the really nitty-gritty details, go towards the end of my Bloodborne stream, and you'll see me talk about a little bit more of my fetish. Is this you when you see tragedy? That is very accurate. Tragedy boner for the win. Do you plan on making a video for the One Piece crew tag? I saw that video. I saw that someone tagged me and all that. I have yet to get around to fully watching the video or whatever. Apparently someone tagged me about, making like a crew video, what I would have in like my own crew, pirate crew in One Piece. I've yet to actually watch the video and dive into it and see what it's all about. I might make one. It really just depends on the time frame. I'm a little bit running late like this week because of yesterday with the vlog and then also today. But I mean, we'll see where it goes. It really just depends on how the week goes, if I'm willing to make the video or not. But I do know about it. I just don't have any plans currently at this moment. If you got the chance to meet Ashita, what would you say to him? I would say, Ashita, keep being you and keep triggering the fan base. It makes me smile. What chapter do you think would be a good ending point for Season 2 of Boku no Hero Academia? Now, I don't necessarily remember the chapter number, but the best way to conclude this season of Boku no Hero Academia would probably either be the Stain arc, like the conclusion of the Stain arc, or the arc after that. Do you know Anyong Haseyo? I have no idea who that is. If that's a person, character, whatever, I have no idea. So, yeah, forgive me if I'm supposed to know, but I personally have no idea. What was your first light novel? Also, what is your favorite light novel series? Believe it or not, my first light novel series was not Spice and Wolf. I know, that's probably gonna throw everyone for a loop. They're like, wait, whoa, what? Like, Chibi, Spice and Wolf wasn't your first light novel? No, actually, At the time of me getting into Spice Wolf, I was actually watching Death Note at the time. I was really getting into Death Note. And I remember that I found out Death Note had, you know, some light novels and stuff. And I eventually got around to reading Death Note's light novels. Also, what is your favorite light novel series? Now, not counting Spice Wolf, because that's too obvious, I would say ReZero. ReZero or Overlord are definitely tied. Those are some of my favorite light novel series to read. What does our boy Jacob like to eat for dinner? I really, really love me a good bowl of chili or beans. How excited are you for JoJo Part 5? Wait, did they announce, like, a Part 5 or something? Like, you know, anime or what? I mean, if you're talking about, like, am I excited to read Part 5? I am said my piece on this many times. I am excited to read it, and if we don't have an announcement for JoJo, like, you know, Part 5 by the end of summer, I will start reading the manga. How many subs until a face reveal? What music do you like? Not counting anime music, like for instance Japanese music and stuff. I would say I really love jazz, choir, and orchestra music. I love those. Those are some of my favorite genres of music. Mainly jazz. I really, really love jazz. Some electronic as well, but I'm a jazz man. I love jazz. Will there ever be more Claymore reviews? It has a lot of dominant... Oh my god. A lot of dominant women. Honestly, I do need to get back into reviewing Claymore. I haven't finished it. Chibi, MOBAs or RPGs? By the way, have you played the new Zelda game? Haven't played the new Zelda game because I don't own, you know, a Wii U, and I'm not spending $500 for, like, a Zelda console. I refuse to pay that much. And do I prefer MOBAs and RPGs? I prefer RPGs. I personally prefer RPGs over MOBAs, but I am a big fan of MOBAs as well, but RPGs are just my go-to game. Dark chocolate or milk chocolate? I'd probably go with dark chocolate, but honestly, I'd rather have just mint chocolate, like, you know, just chocolate mint or whatever. That's what I personally prefer. Why is the Earth round? Why is the sky blue? It's questions we always ask every single day. Do you regret making that bet? Lol. In some parts of my mind, yes, I do. I will, be real. But at the same time, though, as I've said many times, it allows me to openly express who I am. For instance, even if it's stuff that maybe you shouldn't hear, you know, stuff that might be a little bit too personal, it's still nice to be able to share stuff like that and not have to hide it. Because that's the type of stuff that nobody ever wants to talk about or anything like that. And when you can accept you for who you are or whatever, I feel like you can grow as a person, and that's kind of what I want to do. I want to just, you know, throw out who I really am and all that, and allow you guys to understand who I am. I'm not just someone that's a YouTuber that just makes videos, talks about anime and manga. I'm also, you know, a human being that, you know, does other things, you know, goes caving, hiking, whatever, has other sides that you guys never see. I do regret making it in a way, but at the same time, I'm happy I did it because I was able to grow closer with all of you. You a fan of Star Wars? Well, I like Star Wars. I wouldn't necessarily consider me a hardcore fan, like someone that has to watch the movies as soon as they come out in theaters or whatever, buy all the merchandise, but I enjoy Star Wars, but I'm not one of those, like, big fans who are like, oh my god, this is, like, the best thing of all time. I'm not one of those type of people, but I do enjoy Star Wars. Has there ever been an anime you've dropped, went back to, and had a change of opinion? If so, can you name some? Shirobako is the first one to come to mind. A long time ago, I dropped that series. I didn't really get into it. I was busy or whatever at the time, and I just didn't really get into it. And then eventually I came back and watched it like a couple months later, and I actually enjoyed it. So, Shirobako is definitely something that comes to mind. Around how much manga do you think you have? Oh man, it's been a hell of a long time since I've counted my manga, because I have so much manga that's just stacked. The last time I counted was, like, I think 2 years ago. It was 2 years and a half or so. And I remember just the shelf behind me. Like, the shelves behind me alone, okay, you see? Those shelves behind me alone, I think I had about 1,000 volumes. 1,000 manga volumes. And I have a lot downstairs as well. So, I think if I had to do a rough estimate, I'd say I know I have at least over 1,000 manga volumes, individual manga volumes. I would say around maybe 1,500 or so, or somewhere around between there, 1,000 to 2,000. I'm between that right there when it comes to manga volumes. Are you more of a Digimon or Pokemon fan anime-wise? Oh, more of a Pokemon fan. Now, don't get me wrong, I love the Digimon theme and all that. Digimon, digital monsters, I like the theme, but I personally prefer Pokemon. I love Pokemon. I remember growing up and watching the first 3 seasons and all that. Just a really good watch. I mean, the theme song is very iconic, too. So, I'm more of a Pokemon fan, anime-wise, if we're not counting the games, too. DC or Marvel? What's your favorite superhero? I'd probably go with Marvel, and my favorite superhero? I really like Gambit. I really, really love Gambit. I don't know, just something about Gambit's design. I really have always appreciated and enjoyed his character, so I would say he's one of my favorites. Gambit. If you could have any quirk you desire, but in doing so, one of your nightmares becomes reality, would you take it? Whoa, wait, what? So, I can have any quirk I want, like anything I desire, but then one of my nightmares, like something I dream, becomes real. Ooh, that's, one of my nightmares? Now, when you say one of my nightmares, I'm assuming it's randomized, or is it like, it chooses the worst one? Because I've had some pretty horrific nightmares, like, oh god, like, I've had some bad ones, like, I remember this one dream, like, this ain't, like, really, really bad, but it was just a bad dream. I remember having a dream to where I was walking, like in a city or something, okay? It was when, I remember picturing Florida, when I was living in Florida. I remember I was walking, and then I saw people automatically just started floating up to the fucking, through the atmosphere, and they just started flying away, basically. And they weren't necessarily just flying away, it was like gravity was gone. Gravity was completely gone, and everybody just started floating up to the top part of the atmosphere to where, you know, they would eventually drift off into space, and then suffocate and die. And that was one dream I had a long time ago, to where just gravity was gone, and you just started floating up to the top of the atmosphere to where you would just die. That would be a pretty bad nightmare to have. That would be a really bad nightmare. I would, oof. But that's nothing compared to some. I've had some to where, I remember, like, some form of, like, Armageddon happening, to where, like, just the planet's just imploding and shit, and then you just see, like, the ground shifting. There's been so many nightmares. Let's not even talk about, you know, horrific, like, you know, scary monsters and stuff, like, in terms of nightmares. Oh, man. Because when I was growing up as a kid, I used to watch Freddy Krueger, Jason, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yeah, I was watching this stuff when I was really young. And so I had a very active imagination when I was young. So I had a lot of, horrific dreams. And so I would say that I probably wouldn't take that. I would probably not take that offer because of the dreams I've had. Would probably doom the entire planet. Who are your favorite anime girls that originated from space? My mind is drawing a blank right now of space girls. Kagura from Gintama. Momo from To Love Ru. Honestly, I don't know. I think I'm just going to have to go with that. Momo and, you know, Kagura, because those are the only characters, anime girls, that come to mind that have came from outer space. If there's some other characters I'm not thinking of, please forgive me, but that's the only thing that really comes to mind at this moment. If I were to draw you as another anime character besides Guts, who would it be? I have a few in mind, but thought I would ask. Well, I'm interested to see what you would have in mind, but a character I would like to be drawn as, like their outfit or whatever, I would really like to see, you know, a Kaneki, like the One-Eye King outfit, you know, dressed in that, like my character and me drawn in that. Or I would really like to see me in Golin's outfit as well, from Hunter x Hunter. One of those two. I'd really like to see something like that. But I'm curious exactly what you have in mind. Maybe you should share. I'd be very interested in actually seeing. If you were in a virtual world, and that world had only 2 types of anime/manga, one is an idol type and the other is a yaoi type, what would you choose? Okay, being real, I personally don't really like yaoi. I don't go out of my way to watch or read yaoi. So, I would probably choose the idol type, even though I don't really like idol types as well. I mean, I'm like neutral with them, but I'm not the biggest fan of idol type, you know, anime and manga as well. But I would probably go with idol type, but I would still probably not really care much more about anime or manga anyways in the first place, because I'm not the biggest fan of both of those genres. Do you know anything about Part 5 of JoJo? I think I do. Like, I know a couple of things about the future stuff of JoJo, but nothing that really just destroys parts. For instance, I know, if I'm correct, it might be part 5, it could be part 6. I know that there's apparently someone with a stand ability or whatever that is so confusing. People made a meme out of it because it's just so confusing. And then another thing I know about is, I think I've actually mentioned this in one of my reviews, the only other thing I know about is apparently, like, there's some form of reset. Like, I don't know if it's part 6 or 7 either, but I know there's, like, some form of reset to where we start over from part 1 once again. I don't know the exact details behind it, but I know there is some form of reset. That's, oh yeah, and a prison, too. Like, apparently there's a prison part. Like, there's a JoJo part that's focused around a prison. That's basically, I think that's all that comes to mind at this moment that I really know about JoJo, but about that I'm pretty much blind on all the other things. You know that you have Brazilian fans, and what do you think about Brazil? Well, I am honored. I am very honored to, you know, see you from Brazil, you know, actually enjoying my content. Thank you so much. Shout out to all of you. I do appreciate that. And it amazes me how there's just so many of you Chibits out there all around the world. It's not just like in Japan or America. It can be in England, it can be in Sweden, it can be in India, it can be, you know, in Brazil. There's just so many places across the world that so many of you Chibits watch these videos from. It just makes me happy just to know how many of you care and just how vast this world really is. So shout out to all of you, and thank you so much. Why don't you have a beard? Really, you're just rubbing salt in the wound now. As I've said, I can't grow a beard. It sucks. Like, I can't. Like, when I try to grow a beard or a mustache, as I've said, you guys are like, shave that shit off. You look disgusting. It's, what the fuck is that on your face? Or, you know, I can't grow a beard, and I can't grow a mustache, and it sucks, but that's how life is. That's just, you know, the hand we are dealt. But yeah, I can't grow a beard. What are your thoughts about people still thinking the earth is flat? I'm glad natural selection is still a thing. Thoughts about the Yuri on Ice movie? Like, what do you expect? I have heard the news that apparently Yuri on Ice is getting a continuation, which I am actually excited for. I loved Yuri on Ice. It wasn't the best thing from last year, which I just can't believe it won so many awards, but it was still a very good anime series. I really liked what I saw. So knowing that it's getting a movie, I'm pretty hyped up because I liked what I saw from, you know, the first, you know, series, like, you know, the anime. I can't wait to see, you know, what happens next or whatever, and I would just like to see the story continue. That's what I would like to expect from it. Just seeing the story continue on past what we saw with the final episode from, you know, season 1. What is the most embarrassing thing you did as a child? Oh, God. Are you serious right now? I've done so many things that I'm telling you right now, I will never, ever talk about. Even if I was to get, like, a wife, okay? Like, somehow I was blessed with one, I wouldn't even tell some stories, my embarrassing stories. Because I have some that's pretty messed up. There's just some I probably would never talk about, ever. At all. No way. I would die before I would ever reveal some of my embarrassing stories. But there is this one that happened. I think I was in 2nd grade, 3rd grade. It was somewhere around there. 2nd or 3rd grade. It was in Florida, FYI. And I remember I was going to the school in Tampa, Florida. And the bathrooms, the boys' bathrooms were all, like, out of service. Like, I couldn't go to the bathroom. I really had to go to the bathroom. Like, it was bad. And then I took a pass from, you know, the class to go use the bathroom. Boys' bathrooms were all, you know, out of service, and I was like, oh, this is bad. And so, obviously, me being a young age, not really understanding the concept of many things, I decided to go into the girls' bathroom and use the bathroom. Nobody was in there, thankfully, from what I was aware of, but I went in to use the bathroom because I couldn't hold it. Because if I would have held it, I would have probably have pissed myself. Legit here, okay? I'm gonna be legit. So, me not wanting to have to experience that, I went into the girls' bathroom and used the bathroom. There's a lot of other embarrassing stuff I've done in the past. I just don't want to talk about it because it's really embarrassing, so that's one of them. What is your opinion on NTR, Chibi? Best fetish? Hashtag best fetish on there. Okay, I see you. My opinions on NTR, if you're into that, you're into that. I mean, as many said to me in my fetish video, I won't judge. Whatever you're into, you're into. I mean, it might be weird or whatever. I know what I'm into is weird, but I won't judge you for being into whatever you're into, even if it's NTR. It's not something I am personally into. I want to be honest here. I am not personally into NTR, But if you like that, go all for it. Just go all out. I mean, look, I have a freaking, giantess fetish, and like, oh yeah, I was corrected also in the last video. Apparently, I'm not necessarily completely considered a masochist. I'm considered a submissive or whatever. So, yeah. Food for thought. Anyways, though, next question. Do you think that one of the reasons why Ishida Sui writes the way he does is because he himself went through some nasty shit during his life? That is a possibility. I mean, there has been people that have talked about this in the past, fan theories and stuff, that maybe Ishida, the reason why he can write like he does is because he takes examples from his life or whatever. I've seen this mentioned many times, and that is always a possibility because writers do this. I mean, a lot of writers in real life, they take inspiration from their actual life, and then they incorporate it into their writing. And so, there is a possibility maybe Ishida did have some form of problems in his life, and maybe he wanted to write some of that things into his book to cope with it. So, who knows? I mean, that is a possibility. I don't know if it's true or not, but who knows? I mean, for what Ishida writes in general, you have to have gone through something as a person to be able to do what he does, though, with his series. Because you just don't have a normal life to be able to write Tokyo Ghoul. So, I feel like there's something there, but I don't know how bad it is. We might not ever know, though, because it's very personal, and also Ishida's someone that's very distant, doesn't want to reveal his face or her face to actual real names, so obviously we'll probably never know. Where did you get your poster? Starting a collection because of you. Looks awesome. I really like that Rim figure. I'm jealous as hell. I want that Rim figure. But, where do I get my posters? You're talking about the posters over here? Well, you can't see the one on here and the ones over there because they're nude holo. And also the nude holo's over there. But, yeah, you know what? Chibi, cut that out. Don't share that. But, anyways, where I got these posters, though, I got them from Amazon. I just went on to Amazon.com. I don't know how it's going to be if you're in other countries or whatever, but I'm in the States, so I get, Amazon Prime and stuff, good shipping. But I typed on Amazon, I typed in Spice and Wolf wall scroll, and then those popped up, and then I bought them. And I think the wall scroll right there was like $20. I think I bought it for like $20, and then just shipping included with it, so it's pretty cheap. It's not that bad. Say this tongue twister. Oh, that's gonna be hard. Okay. Kono kugi wa hiku nuki... Kono kugi wa hiku nuki nikui kugi da. Okay, I gotta say it faster. Kono kugi wa hiku nuki nikui kugi da. Hopefully I said that right. I just... That is quite the tongue twister. What does it mean? What does that mean? I probably just said something very bad, didn't I? What are your thoughts on this ad revenue problem going on YouTube? It's pretty serious, I admit. It's really serious. If I didn't save up some money, I would be in a bad spot right now. I would. I'd be in a very bad spot if I didn't save up money from last year. But honestly, the ad problem's really bad, and if something's not done, I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be hard for many to be YouTubers, to continue doing YouTube as their main profession, because, I mean, the reason why a lot of YouTubers can put so much time into making videos is because it's their main job, myself included, and, I mean, I'll tell you right now, the situation on YouTube isn't that good at the moment. It doesn't seem like it's really clearing up yet. It might clear up in the next couple months, I have no idea. Around this time of the year usually kind of dips in terms of ad revenue and stuff. But, I mean, yeah, it's not good. I really do hope it, fixes itself in the upcoming months, because it's just, yeah, it's not a good situation for everyone. Not just the content creators, but also the people that want to watch different YouTube videos, because honestly, a lot of content creators will just get up and leave YouTube because of the situation. It's really bad. So, hopefully it does fix itself eventually, because it is also affecting me, but I just don't really talk about it that much. A bit of a repeat from the other day, but have you gotten the chance to see the trailer for Code Vein? I saw the trailer. That game looks beast as fuck. I want to play Code Vein so bad. I really hope it comes out on Xbox, but knowing anime games and how that's usually done, they typically don't come out on Xbox, but that is definitely a game I would definitely be interested in streaming if it allows me to stream it. So, yes, it looks good. It looks like, an anime-style Dark Souls game. I like the, the blood aspect of it, like vampires or whatever. It looks really cool. I really like the concept so far of the game. So, I can't wait to see more footage. I can't wait to see when we actually get the, console it's going to be on. So, yeah, it's definitely something I want to be, keeping an eye on, in the upcoming months to, the year. Most guilty FAP. We've come to this. We've come full circle now. I would say there is no guilt in fapping because it's a natural thing. I mean, let's be real here. It is. So, I would say there is not really a guilty fap. And with that being said, enough with all that. I want to end this Chibi question. So thank you very much for tuning in. I love you all. Thank you so much for watching the video. Please leave your questions down in the comments below and also on Twitter as well. I love you all so much. Please be safe. Chibi out.